the advanced trade execution engine known as Traders Post, the epic software that upgrades your trading. Whether trading stocks, futures, options, or crypto, Traders Post has got you covered. And today, we're trading prop firm accounts. Important reminder, folks, today is we're going to be taking a look at how you update the contract for the underlying symbol on the continuous futures contract. So right now, as you're seeing on the screen here, before now, we were trading the, what was it, MNQ?
NQ and MNQU 2025, and we're rolling over to NQZ. And this is actually something you can see on your TradingView chart as well. If you have the contract switch setting enabled, if you go to the if you go to the status line page, nope, let me say that again. If you go to the where is it?
You can right click on the scale.
It's on events, my bad. If you go to the events section of your settings, there is a continuous contract switch toggle here, and this will show you the contract changeover dates. And it's this little purple icon down at the bottom. And that'll show you that today, as of September 16th, we've rolled from NQU 2025 to NQZ 2025. And on all the stock index futures, that would be the case. It would be ES, it would be the Dow, it would be the Russell 2000, as well as NQ. All those are going to roll from the U contract to the Z contract. So the one thing I'm trying to do right now is update all of my messages to say Z instead of U, so I don't accidentally send over an alert to Traders Post with the wrong symbol. I've one other tip here is we just launched this over the weekend. There's a new feature here that allows you to enable or disable all of your strategies in one go. So I've clicked the disable button already, and I can click it here for you, but let me hit it again. And this will make it to where any incoming signal from TradingView just gets ignored. And so while I'm working on all these alerts here, I don't want to accidentally fire an alert and send a trade over. So I've disabled all my strategies to make sure that while I'm working on this, nothing happens in the background. So let me work on my alerts, get everything set up to the correct ticker. I can see I have a bunch of MNQU symbols, so I just need to update each one, make sure the message is set to Z. Tom, what are you trading today?
I don't know. I've been debating if I was going to do NASDAQ or Bitcoin. I'm annoyed with equities. It just seems like Bitcoin moves in a predictable manner. I don't have crazy moves overnight and all that stuff. I don't have to deal with the gamma space or market makers or anything like that. But it moves less dramatically, so it's like less fun. So I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go with NASDAQ anyway, but if today is still another, I don't know. If it's fun, well, here's the thing. I'm already trading Bitcoin long-term in my other accounts. Okay. So it just feels like, well, why do it again? Like, it's not particularly interesting. But what would be even more interesting is making money. So that's what I'm debating.
Getting to a profit target, for sure.
Exactly.
Well, I think I'm going to do something slightly different today as well. I have two other windows open where I'm going to set up my automated VWAP strategy on both MES and MGC, which have been doing really well lately. This particular strategy on gold, for example, for the last 5 trading sessions has done really well, picking up about $1,200 in profit in the backtester. With the first day, September 2nd, it picked up $777 on gold in one day. So I'd like to get this up and running, especially since it seems like there could be a potential for a pullback in NQ. Usually that means people will flight into gold, but we'll see. I would like to have at least 2 automated trades running in the background while I'm trading NQ at the same time.
Oh, nice. Well, we do have the Fed meeting coming up tomorrow, which should be interesting. Yeah. The September meeting and the March meetings are like usually action-packed with some crazy volatility and things leading up and away from it. Just so you know, if you've been living under a rock, the whole idea here is, one, The expectation is the Fed will cut. I think we're at 94% probability, something like that, that the Fed will cut 25 basis points. So we'll see what they do there. If they cut 25, if they cut 50, it doesn't look like pausing is a thing. If they pause, expect the market sell off, unlike anything we've seen in recent years. If you have the cut, even, it's about how they're going to forward guide. So what they're going to say around it, what reason they have for cutting, what expectations they're going to set in the future for what they'll do at the next meeting. Because we're out of their blackout zone and now we're headed off into potentially a rate cutting cycle or a continued rate cutting cycle. So it's all pretty interesting. There's all kinds of things on the table for that. We did have retail sales numbers that came out yesterday, and that showed better than expected. Right? This is retail sales numbers are about spending, and it was up higher than forecasted, and so that means that the higher prices or the employment issues that we're having or what have you, at least on the reports, are saying it's not as bad as we would have expected. That does lend itself to lesser rate cuts, right? Because if we have, they would rate cut in order to stimulate growth, but if we're not having the spending problems, no need to cut as much. Probably one of the reasons why the probability for the Fed rate cuts has stayed around 25 basis points and the odds for 50 basis points has dropped, much to my chagrin, since I am betting on Polymarket for that. Market open's going to be here in 7 minutes, and the big question here is: do we gap fill the? Just the jump. What was the jump we had here? 6 p.m. It was almost a 1% jump up in the overnight session, like from the Friday to the opening of the futures. Correct. That was crazy. It annoys me in prop firms that there's no way to take advantage of that jump because you can't have your positions open. You can't swing it.
That's true. You can't hold it through that whole period, but you can open a position at 6 p.m. Eastern and hold it overnight. However, I don't know about you, but we all have lives to live. I went to the Deftones concert last night. The Deftones is one of my favorite bands of all time. I'm too busy living my life to be trading it in the middle of the night. So
it used to be I would be I'd sit down with my wife. Well, not used to be, but it still happens. And then my phone will buzz, and a good moment between us is ruined because I'm like, I just lost. Just lost the trade. And she's like, can you not look at your phone? Could you not do? I was like, sweetie,
let it happen. Go check it tomorrow. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know where you think your home comes from. I don't know where your clothes comes from, but it comes from these buzzes on my phone. All right.
Fair. Exit order type market.
So the question is, do we gap fill? Do we drop 1% down to the weekly VWAP, or does this portend that we got a little bit of a pullback in the overnight this morning from like 5 a.m. and then that's all we're going to get? We're bouncing off now the EVWAP, and we could just be headed higher from here. That's the big question.
We didn't fill the Thursday, September 11th gap, and we also haven't filled yesterday's gap. So we're about ready to gap up again here, which is 0.3% on NQ, and that's with the back adjustment. Some of this price action that you're seeing here, the 1.18%, that's with 2 contracts back adjusted as well. So the price action overnight wasn't as significant as they're making it sound. If you go from yesterday's close, let's do it right from here. Yeah, right at 1500. We're actually only up 30 basis points. So it's important to recognize that the reason it says 1.19% right now for NQ is because of the contract roll. That's including some of the price difference between yesterday's close and today.
I see.
So the actual gap up is only about 30 basis points. Even still, we have 2 gaps that haven't closed yet. The price action has just been bullish, and we keep closing above VWAP, which is fantastic. That's great if you're on the right side of that trade. But today could finally be the gap close there. But I want to leave open the potential that we could pull all the way back and close the previous 2 gaps.
How interesting. Okay, I guess I'll be in the NASDAQ then today, because that does sound like fun. Whereas Bitcoin's just trudging along. Bitcoin's not at all-time highs, and the big debate inside of the crypto community is altcoin season here and we should be riding that train, or are we showing signs of a top in the cycle and we're going to head lower?
Right.
We'll see. I don't make any decisions before a Fed meeting. Great way to seem stupid.
Okay, let's do some futures math here. We know that MES is $5 per point. And on this automated strategy, I don't really want to risk more than $200 on one contract. So I'm going to divide that by 5, and that tells me that I need a stop loss set at 40 points. And that would be for MES. Come back to that. John and I talked about this recently. We are going to work on a stop loss risk amount that lets you define how much risk you want to take with each trade. That'll be very different than our current stop loss amount, which is based on the dollar price difference of your entry. TradeView calls this the dollar delta. And essentially what that means is that if I get in at 20,000, I want my stop loss set at 20,000, or excuse me, 19,900, for example, right? And that would be $100 dollar price delta. But for some people, they may want to say, well, I want only to risk $100 of P&L. Well, in order for us to do that, we have to set the dollar amount based on the point value of the contract and your position size. And that's going to make with each contract you add, that's going to make the stop loss tighter and tighter, to where, you keep that risk at $100. That's similar to how Project X works. If you've seen that with Project X, if you set the risk settings, it's actually based on your P&L risk. And we want to offer the same feature there. So that's something we're kind of working on in the background. Hopefully that's coming soon.
All right, market's going to be opening in 20 seconds. I am certainly inclined for a short, but we'll see. All right. Are you going to be waiting a few candles before you get in?
Yep.
Awesome. We could always, if we wanted to just test everything out, make sure that we set our subscription to, or our strategy to, our subscription disable the auto submit.
Yep.
If we just wanted to make sure that our signals are going through the way we wanted to. But we're all hacked. Yeah.
You only live once. Let's do it. Now, I already know this strategy works. I just have to set up the whole settings for it. So I have 3 more accounts. I'm gonna go ahead and enable. The Tradify allows automated strategies, but they have to be exclusive to Tradify. So I'm just going to enable this strategy on Tradify accounts only. So I have one more to add. There we go. All right, so my automated strategy is ready to accept signals there, and all of my alerts are enabled all of my alerts are updated to the new contract as well. So market is now open. I will get prepared on the manual trading chart here in just a bit. We'll give it a few minutes of price action, but then now I need to set up the alerts for my automated strategy.
Nice. You said that automated strategy we run it on gold, right?
I'm going to run it on MES and MGC.
Okay. All right. A little back and forth here on the open. try and decide what it's going to be doing. Guys, if you guys are long or short, we'd love to know. Love to know. Chat indicator.
So this is going to be this is a good example of a way to modify the strategy payload for TradingView. When you're setting up an automated strategy, you can usually use a single JSON message for the entire strategy for all of its entry and exit instructions. But I do want to make sure that there's a hard stop attached to this as well. So it has its own trailing stop built into the automated strategy that will send off a signal if a trailing stop is triggered. And it also has its own take profit and it closes at the end of the day. But I also want to make sure that I have a max risk defined on this strategy. So I want to include a stop loss. So what I've done here is I have a buy order I'm creating for MES, and I do want it to include a stop loss. And it's going to have a relative stop loss amount of 40 points. And when I save that template, I'm going to say MES strategy signal. And the signal source is a TradingView strategy. I'm going to use the hard-coded ticker. And that gives me the strategy payload for for TradingView, but it also includes my stop loss instruction. So this will make it to where it sends the action to buy or sell, it sends the sentiment, it sends the quantity, but each time it also includes the stop loss. So for the entries, that means it will attach the stop loss properly to my entries. For the exits, it'll just ignore the stop loss signal. So let's set up my alert now on the VWAP to close strategy. This is where I'll put in my message, and then I need to grab the webhook URL from, oops, I forgot to save that message.
All right, NASDAQ is dropping here.
Okay, kind of expected that might happen. Ooh, gap's almost filled. Are we already 4 minutes in? Good Lord.
That's right.
That went by fast. All right, that looks like a close below VWAP here. I'm gonna wait a little bit before I start building a position, but I wouldn't mind participating in this.
All right, well, I was in a short, and now that cleared out. Now I'm wondering, do I leave my 335 for the day?
You did 335 already?
I did.
Nice. What did you trade just now? Quick short on NQ?
Yeah, exactly. Short on NQ from the open.
Perfect. Right from the open.
Yeah.
Well done. All right, let's check the comments here. Thanks. Spam. All right. I love it when the spammers join us. Okay, so I have my strategy active for MES, and I'm starting to scalp off of MNQ. MES isn't going to do anything unless it has a full close above VWAP on the 5-minute chart, which of course we may not even see today. So this may not even take a trade. Gold, on the other hand, is starting to head that direction. So I need to get this strategy moving on gold. Okay, so we got that. We got this. Now gold is a little different on the micros. This moves by 10 points or $10 per point. And I only really want to risk, again, $200 on a single trade. So I'm going to take 20 points of stop for the hard stop on this one.
All right. I entered back into another short here.
Yep, I'm also short 2 MNQ right now. As you guys can see in the bottom left-hand corner, it looks like both of those contracts are in profit at the moment while I'm working on setting up my automated strategy here for gold. So let's get this guy set up properly. 916. All that looks good. Properties, we'll do one contract at a time. And that's all set. VWAP to close. Paste that guy. This will be MGCZ. Isn't the Z for gold? Pretty sure it is.
The current contract?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, MGCZ. MGCZ 2025. Stop will be at 20 points. And there it is. Oh, wait. Make sure I set my webhook correctly. Okay, so if gold closes above VWAP here in the next 2 minutes and 8 seconds, then and that should take a trade on gold. MES is starting to fall. Interesting. NQ is looking much more intriguing now. I got those two contracts open on the short side. And we already rejected off of VWAP. So let's start to build up another position here. Looks like it just bounced off of yesterday's high.
Yeah, I'm looking to get another short in here at 24,577, let's say.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't taken profits yet. I'm still short 2 contracts on all the accounts.
My stop will be EVWAP for the moment. I should have taken a look at. Normally, I look at options around the Fed dates. I guess maybe tomorrow makes more sense because I'd love to see what big plays are being put on. What are the big options contracts that people are betting on? Because those things get, especially short dated, high gamma, those things can move the market in the short term.
What are we thinking here, Tom? I think we could be looking at a much bigger pullback.
Yeah, this is what I was saying before, that like we've not all the time, but we've seen this run up during the overnight and then the sell off in the day towards the either the weekly VWAP, the some unmitigated level lower down. Here the daily unmitigated level is at 24,465. So like I wouldn't be surprised at all to see us go down there. Plus you have to have sometimes you get this rinse and repeat that happens right before a volatility event where you get the volatility within the price and then it settles down and then we get the big move. So I would not be surprised to see 24.5 today.
That is one of the targets that the options market was printing. Upper price was 24.5. The low could potentially be as low as 24,000. That's by tomorrow. Today's range was much tighter at 24,380 and 24,206. But I'm anticipating, just looking at the 2-hour chart here, that again, it feels like if we really want to fill some previous gaps here, we've got plenty of room where we could start closing lower. And we've seen that happen before, where just when we think we can't go any higher, we see a big red candle print in a single day, and it closes all the previous gaps.
Well, on my 2-hour, I do have a sell signal that's developing on the candle we're on right now, which generally means that we move pretty like significantly lower. I'll only know for sure when it closes in 18 minutes, but essentially if that closes that way, it portends 24.1, let's call it 24.2 to the downside. Even as far as 23.7, but I would say 24.2. So I'm interested in holding a short here for as long as I actually can. Even if it switched temporarily to a bullish trend here, I don't think I would be chasing the upside.
Yeah, at this point, my rules still state: are we below VWAP? I want to keep this pretty simple. Up above or below VWAP. Right now, we're still closing below VWAP. It looks pretty consistent for a trend. I might sell the pullback here and start to build up a position. I think I'm gonna put my line right there.
Peter says, let it ride. Yeah,
Let
Peter.
it ride. Sounds
Exactly
good.
what I'm going to do.
Let's do it. Right now, I'm just in these little scalpy trades. So they have a fixed take profit and stop loss. And I've already rolled over one profitable trade and 2 are open at the moment. I've just added 1 leg of a longer trend following strategy. And we have those other 2 scalping trades to finish. Let's see if we can get there. I'm just going to watch price action below VWAP here. If we close above VWAP, then I start to close out my positions and try to push the other direction. What's been harder for me is actually getting bullish, even on bullish days, because of what we keep seeing. It's an overnight rally followed by an intraday sell-off. And so my sentiment is always usually bullish because that's what price action says from the overnight. And then we open and it just closes the gap from the overnight and it just pulls back, or it just chops around all day in a way that makes it very difficult to follow a trend. So I would love if we can actually just get a trend for the day. I've been given a couple of those opportunities. As Tom has seen, I'm still a little salty on a couple Fridays ago. There was an excellent short day and I pulled profits too early. So we're not going to be making that mistake today.
I was like, okay, this week, Mike won't bring it up. He's over it.
Those are the types of days where I'm like, you gonna learn your lesson, buddy, or what?
That's right. Well, see, the lesson I've been learning is this, like, because I've been trying to do that thing where I switch to whatever trend, like if it gets above VWAP, let me switch long and short or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been burning myself. Like the levels, the target levels, where VWAP is the unmitigated levels. That's what I'm used to trading. The price moves to those levels, and even if we get this rally upwards, it's sort of like I can't bet on BluSky. There's nothing for me to target. It's just like, okay, we're going up, and whenever the plane stalls, it's going to go over. And I just find it to be too difficult to do that. But when I trade in the direction of whatever is the nearest unmitigated VWAP level, then over time, I win better. And it's when I go against that rule, I end up washed out. Like this idea that if I see a bullish trend form today, let's say, I should be looking for the top of that and short it down to the other side. I should not be looking for long for the rest of the session, even if it does go up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because the odds are that we pull back at some point.
It's true, and it looks like it's trying to do that right now. Wow, even gold's pulling back.
Dollars falling below, dollars breaking down below. That's bullish there. Equities over time, but
I haven't seen dollar at 96 yet.
Yeah.
Or we have. Okay. I thought this was undiscovered territory.
Oil up, dollar down, but equities down. Gold. Okay, so this is where it's settling because of this whole the whole thing tomorrow. Like we're not going to get the clear long-term trend right now.
Beautiful rejection candle there off of VWAP. I'm well positioned on this. We've got the scalp trades open, up about 155 so far. No trade on MES, no trade on gold. Just going to keep an eye on this short here. And I only added 1 leg, so I think I might be trying to add a second leg here and see if we can fill the whole gap from the open. We've only filled about half of it at this point.
Interesting.
And as I mentioned, we still have yesterday's gap to fill as well. Okay, I like that price action.
Another benefit for me just choosing my trend for the day is that if it does move in the other direction, I'm not taking any more losing trades. I'm just going to be sitting on my hands. And that way, even if I'm wrong and it does move up for the rest of the day, I haven't taken another trade.
I like the way you're thinking. At the end of the day, I think that's the type of system that I've arrived at as well, is one in which I start small and I wait for the signal to form and I don't really add unless the signal gets louder and louder, and it's very clear that we're forming a direction. And once that direction is established and the markets are clearly indicating where we're going, that's when I start to really size on. Um, but if I'm wrong about that first position, I'm out and I try to head the other direction. And I kept my risk small in that process.
Are you finding the switching to catch what the true trend is? Are you finding that to be worthwhile? Because like the idea is that you
I
get
think
above VWAP and then you go
we've
long,
discovered that I have a bad habit of getting involved a little too early,
right?
but that's because in the past I've seen price action form a trend even from the fourth minute, and a lot of people will skip the first half hour of the day. I just don't think all days are flush outs. Sometimes there's a trend to be had. Um, that said, uh, I have been waiting at least a few minutes from the open. Today's a perfect example of that type of rule where I waited a little while, about the fourth or fifth candle, to start adding scalp lines, putting the risk on small, and I've only added 2 legs to my strategy at this point, or to the trend, and I'm still waiting for the trend to form and continue to break down before I continue to add more legs. So I am trying to take a little more time before I get in. I think in the past, what I've been doing is I'll buy in the first few candles, and I'm trying to sell a few candles right after that, and I'm trying to buy again a few candles after that. And
Right.
I've already taken some losses that I now have to dig out of a hole from. So trying to avoid at least a little bit of the early session is a smart play.
So let's say the price MNQ gets above VWAP or even EVWAP. Are you going to be looking for it to get long around there, or would you wait for it to break to make a new high before you go, okay, now we're doing higher highs?
And that's a good one too. So you can see here that we're not really in a very large range just yet. We kind of expected that, right? The volatility is low for the day, VIX is down. So I'd probably wait for a break of the high of the day, which would be at 24 or 597,
Okay.
because we could still close above VWAP, but form a lower high for the session and then ultimately sell from there.
That's what I'm trying to avoid for myself, because I've been switching as soon as it crosses the EVWAP, thinking, oh, I'm just going to catch the ride up, recover whatever losses I just had, and then be well positioned. And then, boom, I get whipsawed. It goes back down the other way.
Yep. Let me pull this off. Actually, this isn't a helpful indicator. What I can say is, looking at the 2-hour chart, we are in overbought territory. The typical zone of price action would be somewhere in these areas. This is obviously oversold, and now we're in this pretty extreme overbought territory. So my confidence is growing that we could still be in a decent short here.
Mm-hmm. My confidence level with my my overbought signal that's showing on the 2-hour. I mean, it's not. I love overbought or oversold signals on the 2-hour, because once it starts moving in that trend, pulling that train back is really hard. And so I feel like really good about just writing this down. I mean, I'd be holding for the next couple of, I guess, the next day or two down to 24. I mean, to see a wick tomorrow down to 24.2 on MNQ, I would not be surprised at all. That could be a 30-minute trade that just pays off immediately.
Oh, wow. There we go. Here we go, Tom.
I like it.
That's the rejection off of VWAP. I've taken some profits off of a couple more of the scalp trades, but I still have, actually, all of those have completed now. So I have a 100% win rate on the scalp trades. All of those are in profit. And now I have 2 legs open of my short strategy, or short trend following strategy. So let's see if we just closed the gap for the session here. We just wicked at the bottom of it. The question is, do we keep pulling back to the weekly VWAP, or do we keep going from here even further to close yesterday's open gap as well? If I'm looking at the 15-minute chart, there's still plenty of room to the downside here. 2-hour chart says, all right, we're already at the top of this regression trend. We have some moving averages we need to clear, but S1 is all the way down here at 24,250.
That's right. So this is where I have another problem.
Okay.
So let's say I'm up. So I have two things I know I do, and both of them I'm not sure how good of an exit this is. Now I can set a take profit at EVWAP. Then it takes a take profit, and then the idea is that if it breaks the low of that candle afterwards, I enter again.
Okay.
But oftentimes there's a false break of that low, and then it bounces all the way back up to like open, the session open. So I don't like that. I could give back a bunch of gains that way. Or I can move my break even so that from EVWAP, if it bounces a certain amount, I close out my position. But then oftentimes it'll then roll back over and go down. And now not only did I lose 20% of my profit that I could have had if I bought it if I closed it at the extreme, but now I'm not even in the trade for the lower move still. So I've missed out on 50% of this move. I don't know how to exit positions properly. Now I know I can guess what you're going to say. Well, Tom, are you on base? Did you make profit? If that's the case, well, then just take that profit, and just move on with your day.
Okay.
But then I had that feeling that you have from 2 weeks ago but then I missed the whole trend lower. Should I risk having my stop loss negative, or back up to break even and give back the whole profit so that it can be there for the trade? Or should I take my profit at the highest point I can take it, risking the rest of the trade?
That's a tough one. I'm not a fan of hard and fast rules when it comes to take profits in general, because sometimes the market will just keep offering you opportunity. And in my mind, I don't really have a fixed risk reward, because the reward side of it could be as much as the market is willing to give me. That's again why I'm salty about 2 Fridays ago, because the market just kept going and going and going and going. And that risk reward that day could have been, what is it, almost 10 to 1. And there's no way I could operate under a fixed rule there. Some people prefer the fixed take profit, but if I'm able to capture, I think what's more important to me is capturing my max profit for the day, which on many of these accounts is about $1,800 to stay under the 20% consistency rule. Mm-hmm. That's what I would focus on, and then I'm out for the day, right?
I see.
There may be plenty more profit after that, but that's irrelevant to getting past prop firms. I'm more interested in just getting as much profit off the table as possible and getting as close to that $1,800 target as possible. Most days I'm going to be able to clear 600 to 800, and that's fine. Those are good days. But I'd like to do on a day where there's a lot more opportunity, I'd like to take that off the table. So it's up to you, Tom. I think, on choppy days where there is no trend, I say take profits very quickly, because you're unlikely to capture a big move from the market that gives you all that upside. And instead, it would be better just to have 5 points or 10 points of profit and just take it right away. But if we're going to get a trend, then ride the wave, baby.
Right. In my mind, the way I see it is that it feels like I'm playing Russian roulette. Like when I'm dealing with a prop firm account, there's a point where the account dies, or that the trading combine dies. And so if you're playing Russian roulette, you want as much money in that pot for that next click as possible, because you can't be like, well, I'll take the next round of Russian roulette. No, take your money as soon as possible. You're not guaranteed tomorrow.
That's true.
And then even if I lose the account because of it, or I get a negative day or whatever it is, I get back a bunch of profit. I've taken the risk. I'm taking the largest risk just by being exposed to the market in this way. And so in my mind, I just go, okay, once I get to a payout, the idea is that will then cover 10 accounts. Mm-hmm. So there's no point in babying it. Right. So just get to the payout as fast as you can. This is the from your Ike interview. That idea is like, just get to your payout as fast as you can. Why are you trying to baby this account?
Yes.
Right. You have no guarantee that tomorrow you're going to make your extra 600.
The evals are the toughest process to go through, because there's just no real reward in it. In fact, at the end of passing an eval, guess what you have to do? cough up
Another.
more.
Sorry.
It's usually not very rewarding. So yeah, I want to get past an eval quickly, pay the fee to get activated. I want to be in that funded account ASAP.
Right. Because I've nursed a trading company. So I'm careful. And then 3 weeks in, I blow it.
Mhm.
It's like, well, then I might as well have blown it 2 days in. Like, what am I doing here?
I think you're trying to avoid the process of just turning over accounts, churning through accounts. In fact, with many of these firms, if they catch you churning accounts where you're just burning and failing and failing and failing and failing, they'll actually start preventing you from buying more accounts. So you do want to, I think there's a healthy balance here of being aggressive while managing that drawdown at the same time. I don't encourage the idea of like just going balls to the wall, YOLOing into every trade, because you're too likely to just burn out accounts that way.
I totally agree.
You're
Yeah,
absolutely just very confident that you know exactly where the next candle is going to go, and you put on 10 in Q and go for
exactly.
it.
Yeah, but the idea that I'm going to close at $200 for the day
Mm-hmm.
for a trend that I have properly identified that could have given me 2,000, that to me now seems ridiculous in a prop firm account. Like it just doesn't make any sense. Like what game are you playing? That's
Right.
not this game.
Yeah, fair. I think that's a solid way to look at it.
All right, so the momentum to the downside here. I wonder if we're going to get another drop. Our 50-minute candle is about to close it in a minute 20.
Okay.
I love when we close the 50-minute candle near the 15-minute VWAP, because that often means that we turn we continue the trend downwards, or we continue whatever trend we're in.
All right, here's a small short-term bounce again. Looks like we're heading back up to test VWAP again. Totally fine with this. MES, same thing. Gold has been chopping around VWAP. I can't get it to form a trend, so my automated strategy hasn't taken any trades yet, which is great. It's avoided some of that chop.
This dollar down is making me nervous about being short. I'll tell you that.
What's
Why?
your thought about it?
Well, usually dollar down is equities up, and we're having dollar down with oil up, which usually means, I mean, it's in line with the whole consumer spending thing.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a whole thing. So because consumer spending is up, like we mentioned at the top of the stream, it could mean less reasons to cut, right? Good economy can be bad for liquidity injections. And so we can absolutely get a sell off in equities because the data is good, while still getting the selling of the dollar because money moves into other areas of the economy. This is something I just had to learn from this Michael Howell interview on Real Vision over the last week or so, where the expenditures that in AI and IT that's happening right now.
Right.
We're used to, we're used to the expenditures for that being done in markets. We're used to buybacks. We're used to financialization of these public companies.
Sure.
But if that money is going into capex, then it's not going into financial markets, and so you have the liquidity withdrawal from the financial markets while the economy can do better. It's this weird thing where the productivity and the capex can actually be bad for markets in the short term because it's taken away from the free cash flow, which is super interesting, and a different way of reading the charts. I've been used to the last 10, 15 years not thinking about the economy doing well, right? But now because of AI development, there's a productivity we haven't seen in many years, many years. So I have to recalibrate how to think about all this.
Interesting. All right, I need to prepare a stop loss here because we're bouncing off of the gap for the day.
Right.
We're coming back up to test VWAP. Now I'm going to stay aggressive, and I'm going to add another leg here in a moment if it continues to rally upward. You can see I've got a red dashed line here ready to add another position. I'd like to stay short and stay in this trend. It's still really strong, but I'm leaving open the potential that this is the formation of a reversal for the day. As we usually see, dollar down, equities up. Dollar keeps going down for the day. We're at 96.90 now. I'm leaving open that chance that could happen, and I'll take a little bit of profit off the table.
And that's a pretty severe dollar down. I mean, the dollar just broke trend, like full on broke trend.
Right. It's a little confusing.
But Bitcoin's not rising either. And Bitcoin usually responds to the dollar even more readily than equities. So I think it's because right now, I would assume it's because we're headed into a volatility event and we're getting a sell-off of these assets.
Could be. When things are really involatile or stable in markets, it's usually the calm before the storm.
Right.
In any event, I want to be prepared for any inevitability. So I'm going to place that stop against the other side of VWAP here, right above this previous cluster of candles. And I'm going to attempt a continuation of this short. Let's see how we do.
Yeah, I'm inclined to believe in short here. If I just show my chart, you'll notice here we'll often get, so these white bars are the 15-minute, the start of the 15-minute. And we'll see if that invalidates here. But often, if we rise into the VWAP, or the 15-minute VWAP at the end of the candle, we then fall down for the rest of it. So we'll see. We rose into it last time. We'll see if we continue lower still.
Interesting. What is this candle?
All right, maybe you can distract me from trying to pull the trigger on this. How was the Deftones?
Well, that was amazing. I had a bit of a debacle on the tickets. I bought the tickets from a vendor that will not be named. I don't want to give them any attention at this point, and will never work with them again. But they sold me a fake ticket, and I didn't know it was fake. So I bought these tickets way back in March of this year, and the seller never transferred any tickets to me. And I kept trying to work with support over and over and over and over again. And they just kept telling me it's been delivered. It's been delivered. And I'm telling them it's not been delivered. There's no tickets in my Ticketmaster account. There's nothing here. Dang it. Hold on one sec. Let me get logged back into Apex here. I hate it when they kick you out. So I'm waiting for the tickets to arrive. The show's already started at this point. I still don't have any tickets.
Dang.
And I keep telling support that they've sold me, bad tickets. So I finally go to one of the ticket recovery agents, and I'm telling them, hey, I'm being told there's a ticket. You guys don't see anything under my email. Can you check this section and row and see if somebody has not claimed their tickets there? So I tell him I'm in section 322, row 15. The guy goes, there is no row 15. I go, what do you mean? He goes, there's no row 15. You've been sold a fake ticket. So he goes, your best bet right now is to buy new tickets and contact StubHub and then get a refund, after the fact. And I'm like, all right, that sounds like a good plan. So I look up the Ticketmaster app, and the very first ticket I see is row 1 in section 146, which is right next to the stage.
What?
Yeah. I got the best tickets in the house. And not only that, they were very affordable. So because I waited, because I got, sort of scammed here on these tickets, not by this vendor. Oh, I already said it at this point. You guys already heard it. I was able to find better tickets. So it was fantastic. Me and my kids had a blast.
That's unbelievable. All right. Well,
we even had some intimate moments with the band members too. Like there was a moment where Chino was on the side of the stage. He looked at us directly. We waved at him. He waved back. We were having a moment with their backup guitarist Lance as well. It was great.
So cool. All right, we're breaking above a level where I would normally sell here, like close my position,
Oh, I see. Taking
because
profit.
we're overbought on the 1, on the 5, on the 15, and we're testing this 15-minute candle, the unmitigated VWAP level. So, this is the part I don't know. This is what I was talking about before. Do I just let it go, or do I wait for this bounce and then head back lower? I like the oversold on the 2 hour, so I'm just gonna wait.
Stay or do I go now? I'm gonna hold. We're still below VWAP. It's just sort of consolidating in this zone here. I don't I don't sense that this is a bullish reversal just yet. I feel like we're flushing out some potential of bullish activity here, and I really want to see how we respond around VWAP. So I'm willing to pay to see if I'm right, and I'm willing to take the risk. ATRs come down as well, so it's not like I'm going to get chopped out right away immediately. Let's give this a try.
Yeah, I'll stay in the short as well, because I'm not gonna. I hate like looking for the next entry back into the trend I was already in.
Mm-hmm.
So annoying.
Okay, that was wrong again. All right, that's a stretch right there. I see the bulls trying.
Yeah, I'm still gonna hold it. I'll hold all the way back to break even. My break even at 24,572, so I'll just give it all back if need be. It's the dollar down. That's what's bothering me.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I tried a couple of tiny 10-point NQ scalps in there, and I was wrong 2 times, which unfortunately put me a little further into the red than I was hoping. So far today, though, I'm still at about a 70% win rate, but those 2 trades set me back a little bit, so I've got some work to do to build up this position and hopefully see a continuation of this downtrend. Now, I would like to see a trend, but this could be a choppy day again. So if I get chopped out here on the other side of VWAP, I'm abandoning any possibility of a trend, and I'm going to switch over to my scalping strategy, because it's just going to be another annoying scalp day.
Right.
But that served me well. Switching that mindset from trend following to just scalping out chop has been a big shift in helping me manage my risk, but also continue to take profits for the day. I've gotten myself into trouble trying to trend follow on chop days.
Yeah, we all know that pain.
All right. That looks like an invalidated rejection off of VWAP.
It's got to close though. 50-minute candle's got to close here.
Yeah, it's got to close. Let's give it a sec.
We have 3 minutes left because it's bouncing off of the 15-minute. Yeah. All right.
Try it again, huh? Good luck, bulls.
Well, I'm just going to set my stop here to 24,556, just so I can get out with some profit if we do go above that high, the recent candle high.
Gold is now starting to attempt to break above its high for the session. I might actually end up in a gold position in a moment here.
Oh yeah, I should be long gold. Why am I not long gold? Dollar down, long gold.
That's why I set up my automated strategy. I don't even have to think about it.
All right, that is Good. See, I'm glad I talked it out with you. Normally, I would already have given back a bunch of profit here. Let's see what this 15-minute candle does. Oh, we have 3 minutes until the candle close. Mike, candle closes are like the thing. The amount of times I've made decisions based on the intra candle moves are just sometimes just such a ridiculous idea. Like you don't know what that candle will be by the time it closes.
It's a good point. We've done pretty well just focusing on what's happening with the 15-minute candle, and then trading from the 1 minute.
That's right.
Right. Look at that. There we go.
Can't call it too soon.
Can't call it too soon.
2 minutes and 15 seconds left. Anything can happen.
I have a little. I've got the NQ scalp I just completed, and that one was profit. So now I'm moving pretty quickly here. So my MNQ position, I've got 5 contracts on. 4 now, because one of them took profit on a scalp. So I've just been layering scalps on top of this trend following strategy, trying to take a little profit on off the table along the way. Because price is not moving very quickly here. This isn't panic mode yet. ATR is 11. And in about 1 minute 32 seconds, 1 minute 30 seconds, we should be in a long gold position. Let's keep an eye on this trade.
Look at that! What that 15-minute candle wants to do here in the last couple of candles. It's the last 1 minute.
I don't like the doji.
Yeah, I might actually just close my position here because this is we'll see what happens in a minute, but I don't like this.
Yeah, the bulls keep trying to step back in. That's an engulfing bull candle right there.
Yeah. But I'm closing my position here.
I'm going to hold. We're still below VWAP. I'm sticking with my rules, Tom. And I'm going to try to scalp on top of it.
Well, I am actually going to go long 2 contracts.
Don't you trade against me. It's unacceptable. Okay. We're still watching NQ for its close below VWAP here. But I want to see this long position get taken on gold. So in 18 seconds here, this candle's going to close. And it should execute an automated strategy, which if you want to show my screen here, Tom, you guys can see the log here for the alert that's about to fire. This is a full candle close above VWAP, so this should fire right away and it'll attach that stop loss. Hey man, what happened? Where's my position? What did I do wrong here? That's odd. I don't know why I didn't take the position.
Did the alert fire?
Oh, sorry. It looks back 1 candle. That's right. It's going to be this next candle. So if this candle closes above VWAP, it will open the position. Interesting. Those bulls are going for it.
Yeah, I'm long.
Okay. But for how long?
For how long? I think we could rise back up to 24,571 and then resume the downtrend.
Oh, you're pushing it to EVWAP then.
Yeah. At which point I would reverse my position.
Got it. Got it. Okay. It's definitely been slow, very familiar, choppy price action so far.
Right.
It's trying to trend, but we're not there yet. However, my downtrend is still valid. We haven't broken above VWAP yet, so I'm going to hold this position a little longer.
I would not recommend that. That doji on the 15-minute is like that's usually the turning point. But your gold call has me in profit. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
I would not even have looked at gold.
I'll be right back, Tom.
Sure. Good trading day so far. Up 690 on that account, with 160 still unrealized. I would like to say I don't like trading against Mike, but I like when there's winners and losers. And when the person I'm trading against is just the market, doesn't feel nearly as fun as when it's my pal. Wow, look at that gold run. All right. Does that mean Bitcoin's going to go up as well? Nope, Bitcoin is still staying sideways. All right, let's see how this goes. Do I really want to switch to short when MNQ gets to VWAP? I do. I really, really do. So let's set up that order here. I'm going to enter short when we get there. Actually, that coincides with a level, so that's perfect. 24,571, and I'll enter short there. Let me just make sure, yeah, the short order is set up. I have the right ticker code, and
right off of VWAP. That's what I wanted to see.
we're going back up though. But I'll join you with the short at 24,571.
We're not touching that. I disagree. Oh, did I get a gold? I did not get a gold. Here we go. This one, this candle.
Are you in your gold long yet?
Not yet.
Oh.
Here it goes. I don't understand what's going on with my strategy here. Timing is correct. Oh, that's right. I have a rule that it can't enter past 10. That's a silly rule. I need to change that rule.
Change it. Oh my God, you're the NASDAQ. Okay. Well, that's
That's the rejection candle I was hoping for right off of VWAP.
I still think we're going to 571.
Yeah, well, you can say it, but I don't think that makes it right. I mean, it still has potential. I'm with you on that, and I'm ready to pay the price to be wrong here. But we bounced off of yesterday's high, and we're rejecting below VWAP here. That was a bit of a bullish move right there, though. That was an interesting recovery candle, scaring out some of the short sellers.
As it should. As it should.
Okay, so this should have gone long, and it would have on that previous candle for gold. So because of that, I'm going to go ahead and open a manual position for gold across this strategy. Let me just go to the dashboard. We'll put in MGCZ, and I'll put in a buy for 1. And we'll set up our stop loss of 20 points. And we'll go ahead and buy this sucker across all the accounts. What happened? Why did we get rejected? Ugh. I need an entry price. Messed up.
Hello, sir. I'm from India. Hi, Kazi. Thanks for joining us.
What is happening here with my NQ position, Tom? You're not supposed to be right about this.
Oh, I'm dead right. I'm dead right.
What is happening here?
And my gold is reversing.
Oh, good. Then I'm going to get in at a better price. Signal price is 37, 35, 40. Ready, go.
Filled.
There we go. All right, so I'm filled on gold.
Well, that means you got in at a better price than I got in. Why is gold reversing? Dollar down. I'll just stay long gold. Plus, my NQ position is rising nicely.
Shh. I don't want to hear any of this, Tom.
I'm definitely looking to short from 24,571, but it'll be a small one.
I mean, if that's the case, then I really got to pull my stop back here.
Yeah, where's your stop?
Well, now it's at 574.
Yikes. That's close.
It's close. But I might actually get out sooner than that. I'm at break even for the day so far, which is not bad. This is good managed risk so far. I have not put a lot of risk on the table. We did not have the trend I was expecting for the day. So it's a good reason to have been very careful about adding to my position. I scalped along the way, which kind of helped some of the losses there. And that bullish trend is looking stronger and stronger. That was technically a full candle close above VWAP. But this candle here is, I think, the one that's the deciding factor.
I'm debating here. Do I want to go short at 24,571? I really do. Because we didn't complete any of the levels on the 2-hour to the downside that I wanted to. We're still below EVWAP. We haven't hit the weekly VWAP, and we certainly didn't hit the daily level 24,471. So I'm inclined to go short as soon as I can.
Well, we're on the same page there because I'm already short, and I would be willing to add if we close below VWAP here.
Yeah. In fact, I'm pulling my entry lower to 24,568.
Yep. Kazi, thanks for joining us. This is a trading chart on NQ. We are trading multiple prop firm accounts on our platform called Traders Post, which allows us to scale our accounts out in various types of ways and manage risk in an advanced way. And this particular chart is just the 1 minute chart for NQ. We are also, we have an automated strategy on MES here. I have an automated strategy on gold as well. And we're just kind of keeping an eye on all of our trades. Look at that.
I want to enter the short.
I'm sure that I was right about not hitting 571, Tom.
Yeah, I sold my position and I'm going short. That's too juicy. Sure, it might bounce here because we are at the 15-minute, but let's just go ahead.
Yeah, what's the 15 looking like? Okay, well, it's below the short-term moving averages there on the 15. There we go. That's what I want to see.
when you say that before the candle closes, it always makes me nervous. I gotta wait for the candle close.
I only need to see a little bit of price action. That's what I mean by the really watching the order book, right? The candle in the middle, you can't really see it, but occasionally you'll see these big jumps, this velocity on the candle that tells you where price action could potentially go next. When I see big jumps like that, that tells me that a market order just got filled. Somebody just threw some volume on that candle. We broke an order block of some kind, and we're starting to push in the direction that I want. We can see more of it if we pull a Bookmap. I just need to get that set up, and then we can start sharing that as another indicator.
Me, until a 15-minute candle closes, I do not celebrate.
That's your okay, fair. Anything can happen. I'm with you. But I just want to remind you that we did not hit 571, and I'm still in my short, Tom.
Oh, I don't know. It's like 571 was more like a range sort of thing. I'm short. I'm short with you, so I don't know what.
Also, apparently, you got my message, Tom, that we were going to wear gray shirts together today.
Do I want to close my goal long? That's my question here, because I am underwater.
Ooh, yeah, that turned against us, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's no fun.
But really, on the 15-minute goal chart, it's not like a big thing. But I'm inclined to leave it. Oof, it's really falling. All right.
It's falling. It's giving us the signal. Let me log into a different account here. I want to see how that gold trade's doing.
I'm down 200 on that gold trade. I should just close it.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I'm closing on that.
Down $44 on the gold trade. And actually, let me open a new tab here. What happened?
All right, let's see here. Oh no, M&Q is giving me a buy signal on the 1 minute and the 15-minute. No. All right, let me just set a tight stop there. Dang, I gave back too much of my profit.
All right, these will work. Okay, so unfortunately, GC is turning against us now, but I've got a 20-point stop, which puts me all the way down here. We'll see if that ends up rising again. It's actually kind of strange to see gold pulling back at the same time.
There's that bounce at the end of the 15-minute candle. What are you doing here? What are we doing?
21 seconds. All right, MES has already started to pull back. I'm going to let my gold trade go and continue to ride.
Okay, so the 15-minute candle's opening. It did technically close bearish. I mean, as far as the where it is versus the 50-minute VWAP, it's showing downward pressure. So I'm inclined to hold this, but the trend on the 1 minute is like sideways. So I wouldn't be surprised to see 15 minutes of sideways action here.
It's true. And this still feels a little choppy. It's a little slow. ATR is down, now moved down to 10. You know, this is an area where I usually get a lot more comfortable putting scalpy trades on for 10 points because it's just so slow. So like even this rejection candle right here off of the 8 EMA, I think I'm going to put a small 10-point scalp trade on this.
I don't like this price movement.
All right, yeah, let's try that one.
Yeah, I don't like this. I'm not liking this. I'm closing my position.
What's making you uncomfortable here, Tom?
We're above the first candle on the 15 minutes should be way more bearish than this for me to feel like we're going to continue this trend down. We're oscillating around the. I'll show you on my chart. We're oscillating around on the 1 minute, the 50-minute VWAP, while we're inside of a yellow trend consolidation area. So that tells me like we can totally bounce up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. I don't want to be in there for that. Now I might miss the drop lower, but I'm more inclined to put a short entry at the low end of the previous of the last candle from the previous 15-minute. So here I would enter again at 534 for short, but I don't like holding through all that. I was already in profit. Let me just take my profit and wait for that breakthrough. Like you see here on the yellow, here on the 1 minute chart, where the yellow goes from here and then steps up to here.
Mm-hmm.
So that means it's like it's neutral but slightly bullish,
right?
Which I don't like.
I see what you mean. Well, we just need a good candle to the downside, and I think we've had enough time in a downtrend for the session so far. We've had 1, 2, and 3 rejections off of VWAP now. So it's really just a question of where are the sellers.
Right.
I see us bouncing off of the weekly VWAP here on the 15-minute chart. And, that could be support, but we've got some room before we actually hit that officially. And I'm still convinced that if we're looking at the 2-hour chart, if we break that level, there's only a couple of moving averages that I feel like could be support. But I want to see how far we can really go from here. What is this?
Yeah, this is what I was worried about. You know what? I'm inclined to, if we got to 548, then I might take another short there.
Okay.
But this whole sideways,
a little higher and hit VWAP.
That's right. I just don't like this price movement. It could just give up the ghost and fall through.
Feels like
it could, yeah.
Look at this 1 minute candle. We keep hitting this weird support line at 534.
That's right.
What's up with 534?
It's a previous level here. It's a previous. Let me show on my chart here. I don't know if you can see it here, but in the overnight session, that it's from that level that we skyrocketed up to the bullish trend. So there's orders around here.
Yeah.
So we either have to chew through those orders sideways, which could be pretty painful, moving all the way up to VWAP and then down sideways.
Why is gold falling down now too?
Yeah.
All right, this got real confusing real quick.
Yeah, I don't like this price action at all. Okay, well, I'm done. I'm not participating in this.
Did you say you were going to take another short at 548 though?
I was thinking about it. I do like 548. I should have set a limit order there.
Still holding through here for me. I still like it below VWAP, but I'm not sure I'm going to get the trend I want. It's really starting to show the same intraday choppy characteristics. We're not getting the follow through we need for it to be a trend.
Dang it. I should have set a limit order there. Why didn't I? It hit exactly that candle. Dang it. That's exactly what I wanted. Oh.
That 548 just wicked. Or wait, 540.
Yeah, 548.75.
Yeah, it would have been right below.
It would have been a perfect entry. Damn it. And now if I FOMO in, it'll be the wrong choice.
Right.
But we're above the 15-minute VWAP. Like, that's the part that annoys me. It's one of those things where I think overall we're going to go lower. We're going to move sideways to up until 12 o'clock. And then 12 o'clock, it rolls over. And that's where I'll take the trade in.
Got it.
So I'm out for now. I can't FOMO into any trades. I gave back some to the market. I'm up 581 for the day. And I'll just take that, even though, I want to short so badly. It's got another sell signal on the 1 minute.
I just added another little scalp trade here. I'm going to go ahead and give it a try here, but I've got stops getting tighter and tighter if I'm wrong.
All right. I'm putting one contract on just so that I'm in it. That way I won't jump off a bridge. All right.
That FOMO's pulling you in, isn't it?
Yeah, I just entered the short trade. It's just too good of a entry here.
Oh, come on. Where are we going here with VWAP again?
Like I said, I think we can go all the way up to 24,568
Okay,
and
that's a
then
little
roll
below
back
your
over.
previous estimate.
Well, because it's moved slightly down as we move forward.
Yeah.
The unmitigated level is still 571, but EVWAP moved down to 567. So that's where my range. But I'm still bearish for the day.
All right, gold is bouncing now. That's good news.
Are you long gold right now?
I'm long the one gold contract. Yep.
Okay.
And I'm going to try
MNQ or
no MGC.
oh, sorry, MGC or okay.
Yeah, one MGC, and I'm going to try to hold that for the remainder of the session. So I have that stop loss set at 20 points, but otherwise it's just going to hold through. Okay, this is an annoying reversal here on NQ, and we're back into this frustrating choppy territory again, where it could still reject and push below VWAP. So I'm still holding my short position.
Yeah, I'm going to be adding to my short. I think I'll add one at 558 and then another contract at 568 and then another at 571 because I do believe we're going lower for the session as a whole.
Well, we're not getting that high, Tom. Look at that 1 minute candle.
Wow. I know, but the 15-minute hasn't closed yet. It's all about the 15-minute.
Who's watching the 15-minute? We're going, baby. It's going. Look at that candle.
No. It's going right back up.
Nope.
Yikes.
All right. Looking good. I like this price action. That is a good candle. That just engulfed all that choppy nonsense.
Mike's happy now.
Happy I
back
kept
in the green
and didn't break my rules.
That's right. In the past, you might have been chopped out of that.
That's
and
right.
then got back in, and then oh my god, yeah.
All right, we'll have a little bit of a retrace here because that was a big candle. And if we close about halfway up that candle, I expect continuation from here.
So you don't think this kind of completely reverses and we go back up to 24,548?
Yeah, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
For all intents and purposes, that's never going to happen.
All right. Well, how do you feel about wrapping it up here?
Let's wrap it up here. I think we've got some potential of a trend following trade to the short side. For those of you that have been following along, we've got some chop trades. We've got a long GC trade that we're in right now. Nothing was taken on the MES automation strategy because it didn't close above VWAP. And we made a little profit here today. So hope you guys learned something. Hope you can now see and appreciate what power you can get out of the Traders Post ecosystem, how we're able to scale across multiple accounts, how we're able to switch between discretionary and automated trading. There's a lot of different things you can do on our platform. If you have any questions, just reach out to us and continue to join us on Price Action Live.
Awesome. Perfect. So we'll be back tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But until then, we wish you, as always, happy trading.